What it do, OG Hive? It's another episode of Horrible Decisions.
This is everybody's favorite type of episode.
Well, I know. I mean, it really is.
Like if
we
we're
have
in
an
LA,
OG
Jenna,
in the fucking house.
They're like, why are you guys interviewing an Instagram comedian? Like, get the stars. They don't even want us to do anything else. They don't want us to talk to each other. They're like, who else?
No, they
next?
love when we talk to each other. Let's be very clear.
No, but I'm talking about when we're in LA. It's like
there's a really good rapport here. I like it.
Oh,
it's good energy. Yeah,
it's good energy.
Good energy.
I'm not
Did you guys hear that?
I'm not gonna lie. When we're in New York, it makes sense to get all the like kinksters. But when we come to LA, it's like, no, it's time for OG Porn Valley. Let's see who the we can lock in because all of y'all live out here.
I mean, if they were
We
good,
do.
they afforded
do.
a home back then, and they're still here. Like I feel like the ones that were really successful still live here.
I know a lot of unsuccessful ones still here too.
Oh,
I mean, Los Angeles is home. I feel like
you're
I'm
from
always
here.
gonna have like a base here. Yeah, I was born in like Orange County, California, so I grew up in
Not the
Southern
real
California.
OC, by the way. We're from Orange County, Chapa City. Brat, brat, brat.
oh yeah. There's an Orange County in Orlando. It's very ghetto.
Okay, well, it's very different.
Yes.
Y'all, we're sitting here with Jenna Haze.
By the way, if those of you never have heard of Jenna, I just would implore you to go back to HBO days because that's how I learned about you. Actually,
You know, that's how a lot of people learned about me, I feel like, is the HBO's Going Down in the Valley pornocopia thing, right? That
yeah,
special?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's...
Wait, which one did you see?
Yeah,
on?
what were you thinking of?
I remembered like watching maybe crossover movies on HBO that you were in.
Maybe no.
But with Evan Stone too.
Oh, because back in the day, they used to, I guess they don't do this in adult movies anymore, for what I've been told. I don't know. I've been retired for a long time. But we used to shoot like a softcore version of everything and like a hardcore version of everything.
Oh.
So, and it would go to different like places. Like one would go to like a Skinamax type thing, like TV.
That's
thing.
where I knew you from.
Yes, and there just wouldn't be any actual like hardcore.
Did you get paid? Did you get paid double for that?
No, we would never get paid double. It was just that was just what you had to do. And sometimes it would be cool because they would have one camera be like the softcore camera and one camera be the hardcore camera, so they would shoot at the same time, which was fine. But sometimes you had to go back and shoot like a whole thing, like if there was only one cameraman.
Wait,
and you would shoot it like
didn't show certain things, or did you moan different? Could you not say certain things? What was the difference?
Yeah, it wasn't as hardcore, and you had to like there was no penetration stuff, like no.
Oh,
we went right into this, didn't we?
I know, we're getting right into it.
Wait,
I mean, we can start a little softcore.
But you're right though, because when I used to drive in cable, that was softcore. Like I never got to watch real.
Well, you wouldn't see the actual like. What can I say everything on here?
Yes. You yes.
I told you I haven't done a podcast.
First off, you saying, "Oh my God, can I say?" is crazy. Like you haven't taken a lot. You know what I mean? On camera, we can literally look it up. Crazy. Yes, you could say. You could say penis. We don't really like here, but
really, why is that?
You know, black people don't say.
Really? See, I like
because it sounds.
It sounds big.
No, sounds big.
Hold on, wait.
Penis is little.
She might be right because.
Sounds like it's very like we went right into this.
Do you know how I know Jacob is right?
Sat down. 1 minute I'm eating a croissant in my car. Did
you know where you were going?
Next minute, I did. I was very excited.
No, we had a friend of ours come on here talking about a guy and he was like, it was a very big African cock. You remember?
Cock is crazy.
So maybe you're
really. Cock sounds big. It just sounds big. I don't know. Penis sounds very small.
Penis sounds small.
Yeah. Is like
no,
that's average. I mean, dick is like everyone.
Give me that. You gotta make it heavy.
It
gotta come from the whatever's here. I don't really know science or anatomy or anything.
Oh my God!
You know what's about like when you're listening to dirty talking porn?
That dick.
Okay, that was better.
That
see?
big dick. That big, thick, hard cock.
See, no, now you but yes.
That's how she made it, you guys. So I gotta know because you're from here. So
to
me,
when making me laugh too much already.
No, I know, great.
I mean, I might still laugh. What did you think you were gonna be when you grew up?
Wow. Okay. So I went through a phase where I wanted to be Madonna.
Girl,
that was
you
like
wanted
my
to be
first.
someone else.
Well, I wanted to be like the next Madonna. Like I was obsessed when I was born in the early 80s. So I was right when MTV was like really big. So I spent a lot of time watching like music videos and like Madonna was amazing. And so, yeah, so I just like, who's this bad you know, embracing her sexual. I was really young too, but I was like, she just was so sexy and so amazing, you know, and she was iconic like back then and just everywhere. And so I was just like, I wanted to be the next Madonna. Then I wanted to be an architect. Then I took like a drafting class in like junior high and I wanted to be an architect, which was really random. And then I wanted to be a doctor.
Oh, you didn't have an in-between job?
I mean, I did jobs. So my first job was at Taco Bell, actually. I'm counting.
Shut up.
My first job ever was at Taco Bell. And then I worked at Easy Lube helping the guys do oil changes.
You did oil changes?
I didn't do the oil change stuff. I was the clerk.
I'm not going to lie.
That sounds like...
No, if we literally think of like...
So I did fast food.
Easy Lube and support just makes so much sense.
Well, and then I worked at like Toys R Us stocking shelves for a little while. And then I worked at Marie Callender's as a pie girl.
Pies?
I know. It writes itself. It writes itself.
Another word for
I know. It writes
Easy
itself.
Lube is lube. Toys R Us, toys. And what was that last one?
Marie Callender's, and I was a pie girl.
Cream pies. Boom.
Wait, has anyone ever said that?
Yeah, I mean, it writes itself. It
that is crazy.
Life flights.
And then I got into adult. So yeah. Well, I worked one day as like a house dancer at like this little strip club in Orange County, and it was terrible.
What made it so bad?
Well, we had to pay like a house fee at that time of like $20, and it was like I know, but it was like a day shift. And there was like nobody really in there. And I had to go up on stage a lot because there weren't that many girls. And so, and like each time I went upstairs on stage, I'd get like $5, you know, like it was just terrible. And like I did like 2 lap dances. It was just awful. I went home with like no money and I was like, this is terrible. I'd rather work as a waitress.
When you're not,
you know? So I went back to waitressing and then I got into adult.
Where'd you waitress?
I waitressed at Marie Callender's. I started as like a pie girl.
Actual microwavable food?
There's restaurants. They started in Orange County as this woman who sold pies. Yeah, okay, this woman who sold pies in Orange County. And she was like an actual like woman. She made these really great pies, and it started as like this mom and pop place, and it was like 1 restaurant, and then it went to like 2 and then 3. I worked in like the 3rd one ever or whatever, and then there was like then it was like a chain for a while. I think they recently closed most of them. And then it became like a frozen meal thing as well. Yeah.
If you want a good frozen meal, Marie Callender's like up there. You know, not the banquet. I've been broke. So
wait a second.
We've all been there.
But you said you went from there to porn. You know, let's pause. Do we want to do like the icebreakers? Even though we really broke the ice
for you.
We're gonna ask you just these questions, and then I want to go from how you go from pies to busting that pussy open.
Okay.
We gotta get there.
Quick answers.
Okay.
Favorite genre of porn to watch?
I don't watch porn.
Favorite new star?
Let's
say 5 to 10 years new.
Ooh,
I don't know because I don't watch porn.
She said, I don't know these girls.
I don't watch. I'm so terrible. I'm terrible. I haven't watched porn for pleasure since I got into the industry.
Oh, we got to get into that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Favorite old star back in the day, even if you worked with them?
Belladonna, of all time. Of all time.
Mr. Marcus said.
Of all time. She's just exudes sexuality. She's one of the first girls that I met in the industry.
Wow.
She was awesome to work with. We did scenes together. We hosted the AVN Awards together in 2009.
Hello.
I love her.
Okay, favorite porn to make?
I liked kind of just the like gonzo, like strip tease right into sex. Like those were just like my favorite because you'd make the same as you would on like a long
when you had
day.
to act.
Yeah. And you'd only be there for like 4 hours and then you'd go home.
Because you didn't have to be like, I'm at Taco Bell. Would you like to picture?
No.
Too much work.
No. Well, I've never had to do that in any of my films.
And you didn't have to memorize scripts or anything. So it was just straight.
Yeah, and I did like doing the features and doing the acting sometimes, but it was just longer days.
Because that's the AVNs, right? Like they want you to have
They want you to do the mix. Yeah, the year that I won Performer of the Year, I did a mix of like wall-to-wall sex videos, vignettes, gonzos, and then also did like a couple of parodies where I was like the lead role. So that's why I kind of I also hosted the AVN Awards that year too.
That shit is crazy, especially in gay porn.
Oh, the parodies are good.
Bro, the parodies in gay porn. Oh my God. Like
it's corny, but it's good.
I've seen Black Panther.
So if I need, I feel like if I need like a referral, if I did want to watch porn, I know who to ask.
Yes,
I know who to ask.
We're addicted.
Yeah, no, I watch it. Like my timeline on Twitter is
really.
I can't open it. Oh yeah, no. Well, celibate, but I still
How long?
Today is
get her back to that
No.
I'm at like
Stop. I just did 3 years of celibacy. I did.
Oh, bitch, you beat me. I ain't going that long.
did.
I ain't gonna hold you. It's gonna be like powder down there if I go that long.
Would you, when you were celibate for 3 years, would you date?
I dated and like kissed and like fooled around, but I didn't like fuck.
What is fooling around?
Like,
is it oral or touching?
like petting and like maybe a little bit of oral, but
So
like
that's fucking.
that's not
Oral
fucking
is
to
sex.
me.
Sex is
She's like, do you know what I used to do for a living?
My sister gets on me about this all the time. She's like, that's, and I'm like, not really.
Sex
like I had his
sex.
dick in my mouth for like 2 seconds.
It wasn't 2 seconds, I'm telling you. There's no way you would.
I don't think fingering and stuff breaks celibacy, but for some reason, head makes me feel like, all right, we're there. If my pussy's in
Really?
your mouth, we're
Fingering is literal penetration.
But I would still call myself celibate too.
All right. I mean, it depends on your definition, right?
Who made? I mean, why did you make the choice?
I knew this was going to come up. I knew you guys were going to get in my
You don't have to get deep though if you don't want.
No, it's okay. So I went through like a really bad. I was in a relationship on and off for 10 years, and it was very tumultuous. And it was back and forth and on and off, like
I've been there.
craziness.
Yeah.
And so like then that like ended for good, and then I like found out a whole bunch of like wild stuff that kind of blew my mind open, and I was like, whoa. So I just wanted to focus kind of like more on myself and not on like dating other people for a while. And then I also got into a graduate program. So
I read that psychology.
Yes. Well, no, I did a master's program at a very prestigious university, but I'm not going to say because I like my privacy.
I know
No, we'll
that's right.
Google.
I know that's right.
But yeah, I just completed my master's this June. And so I was going into that anyways. And I was just like, I really need to just like focus on this. Like, why? So I entertained a few dates here and there. But
Yeah,
like,
my first bout of celibacy was the same. It was out of the
and
relationship.
then
I felt like I needed a break. And I found out a lot of things after, and I realized like the way your body kind of reacts to the PTSD of a tumultuous relationship makes it hard to get close to anyone for a while.
Yeah, I just needed to just like detach from that and like really like, I focused on my friendships. I focused on like my career more. I focused more on my schooling, mostly my schooling stuff.
Career was it the porn career, or was this a relationship after you already retired?
This was a relationship that I got in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were still filming at that time?
I was not. I had
you weren't.
just retired.
You had just retired.
Just retired a couple months before.
Did you
that.
ever do the retire and come back?
I didn't. Once I retired, I was done, and it's been like it'll be 14 years in April.
I
know.
What about y'all like Jay-Z?
I do have an OnlyFans, but I only do like nude modeling and striptease and like dirty talk type content.
Do you get cussed out? Hold on. Do you get cussed out? Do they be like, I thought I was coming here for pussy?
Well, I have my old scenes up there,
Okay.
and like I've been releasing. So what I've been doing is that like I directed and produced 13 films before I retired. So I still own the rights to all them. It's like 80 scenes or something that I own. So I'm slowly releasing those on my OnlyFans now.
That's so smart.
Because some people have already seen them, right? I have a lot of fans who have already watched them. So what I'm doing is I'm doing brand new director's commentary / reaction videos. So I haven't watched these or seen these, and I don't watch porn in my personal life. So I haven't seen these in like 13 years. So I'm going back to like watching them now and recording myself. Like
talk about it, the scene.
Talking about the scene, what I remember, like what I don't remember.
Like the most creative thing I've heard in a long time.
So I'm releasing that on my OnlyFans right now. So every like 2 months or so, there's going to be 2 new ones of those where it's like my old scenes with me doing the director's commentary reaction videos.
Can you tell us, like, going through watching any of the ones you've recently watched, when you saw it, did you literally go back to that day and remember like the people that were on set with you?
Of course.
Felt.
Of course.
Did you like walk through one of those scenes with us? Like, was there anyone that you were like, I wasn't feeling good?
Well, I've only done my solos I'm starting with just my solos. So I've only done 4 of my solo scenes. Okay. I'm starting there. I'm like ramping up. Okay.
So
wow.
You can watch it.
Also, like the porn that I used to shoot back there was so tame compared to some of the stuff that's out there now. If I open up my Twitter sometimes and I'm like, oh my God.
Wait, what's the crazy?
But yet I won Dirtiest Girl in Porn like twice or something.
I had that pulled up and it's crazy. Hold on.
Dirtiest Girl in Porn was a good.
So funny. So Orgasmic Analyst is a good one too, and Orgasmic Oralist. I like those ones.
I have it here. You were nominated 2 years in a row, by the way. The Fame Award for Dirtiest G in Porn. Dirtiest Girl in Porn, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you literally say you don't know why you even won it. You said there's so many things that I haven't done in porn, and everyone says it is because of your dirty talk.
Yes.
But your voice.
What things then do you consider super dirty in porn? Like what
that
do you
you're
think,
seeing now?
Yeah, that you're seeing now.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like it's pegging.
Don't do that. That is not the dirtiest thing.
There's like I don't know if it's still popular, but I know like a couple years ago there was like the faux like incest stuff was like very popular. And that's like yeah, that's like really, I don't know. As somebody who's also a psychotherapist now and deals in mental health, I'm like, I don't know.
No, I hear you.
If that's like
the dirtiest?
I've seen there's a lot of like triple vag, triple anal, like
triple vag is crazy, but I watch it.
Triple vag? I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen triple
2
vag.
on the top, almost 1 on the bottom.
It's very interesting. Like I don't know how it.
No, it's giving
really,
Twister. Like
how it really happens.
How are y'all doing that?
But yeah, that's like
triple
to me.
Vag,
that's very like, and you know,
incest. Okay, what else?
It's just triple like a lot. No, but like more props to the girls who can do this because like,
is it poppers that they're on?
I don't know.
I don't.
They have to just be like opening themselves up.
I don't know.
Oh, like
but
yeah.
That's like, I mean, when I was performing, like, I'm gonna sound like when I was performing.
No.
When I was performing back in the day,
if you
like a DP was considered like hardcore. Like I did like 2 blow bangs, and that was like, and each time it was only with like 6 guys or something like that. But
only
that was like
guys.
The porn I get off to is so it's like come on her face porn. It's like bukkake, but like it has to be specific while they're getting come on while they get fucked. And then like honestly, the best scenes for that is dog fart, but then the racism kind of fucks you up, so you can't do that. And then like sometimes maybe a little pee if I'm feeling frisky. I like to watch trans girls with couples specifically, but not when they're fucking the guy. They have to be getting fucked because I like to watch the dick go up and down.
I'm not gonna lie. I think
wow.
Yeah.
But when I watch you, I feel like, oh my god,
I'm very particular too with mine, but I think like the raunchiest that I see,
Alien probably.
No. I think to me the ones where I really have to just get away because this is to me gross and not really dirty, but like the rosebuds and the gate.
Oh, I don't even look.
I can't see like things, the prostate be blown out and it protruding outside, or
I'm not a fan of super close like hardcore shots. I like to see the bodies moving together.
Same.
And I like more wide shots. So when I was a director, I would always be like, pull out more. I'd be like, okay, get 30 seconds of the hardcore, but pull out, like I want to see like the bodies moving together. I want to see people kissing. I want to see them touching. I want to see.
I realize that's kind of my issue then with amateur as well, because sometimes they're holding it or they have like a contraption around their neck getting the POV. And I'm like, I want to see both of you motherfuckers. I absolutely prefer wide shots where I can see what's happening.
Me too.
More than
especially when there's more than one person. I'm like, why isn't there other people in the room? What are they doing? Texting? Show me.
Yeah, gangbang.
What are they doing?
By the way,
well, you know, I went and saw the gangbang. So the reason too why I noticed there might be zoom-ins. So I saw a 2 on 16. So 2 women, 16 men, and the movement that was happening like behind the scenes, and you can tell when the camera went in, is because they were going off to the side, they were getting water, their dicks were being blasted, and so you literally saw guys quickly removing, and so that's where you saw the camera, okay, let me go watch her suck dick while this guy is pulling out his soft dick now. Like there was a lot of going around, and then you couldn't really have too much of wide shots because then you saw the guys just kind of going off onto the side, talking to their dicks, waiting for it to get back big, jump back in. Because there was no
talking
fluffer.
To their dicks.
Yeah, there wasn't.
To their dicks.
It was crazy. There wasn't.
It's all right, buddy. Get back in there.
That's what I saw. There wasn't a fluffer at all.
Wait, what's it? Like someone suck it?
So there's how can you talk about fluffers?
Yeah, talk about a fluffer.
We haven't really talked about fluffers on here, and so when I shared it,
this is a really funny show.
I went into the comments, and everyone's like, "She was definitely a fluffer." I was like, "I was just watching."
So
I wasn't a fluffer.
I have never seen a fluffer on set.
Really?
But it was a thing, I guess, more in like the 70s and 80s and maybe 90s. I got it in 2001. Okay. My first videos were actually on VHS, which is actually kind of funny. But
you made it.
But then it went quickly to DVD, and then the internet took over and everything like that. But yeah.
What do you know of fluffers?
There used to be fluffers where there would be like a girl that would be there on the side in order to like keep the male talent hard and ready to go, which I'm just kind of like, why can't he do that with the partner that he's just with? Like, why can't, like, that's kind of,
Maybe that's why
Yeah.
it's not there anymore. By the way, a
No,
fluffer
it's still
is
a thing.
exactly why.
I've never seen one on set.
Okay.
I think it's funny that this is brought up because I just brought it up on my Instagram story because somebody mentioned it on some show I was watching and I thought it was hilarious. And so I posted
Maybe
it
it's
in my
fake.
story and then
No, it's real.
No, it was a real thing. No, it
If you are a fluffer, please
It
DM
absolutely-
us. I want to talk to a fluffer.
I'm going to tell you why I know it's real. So,
it used to definitely be a thing.
sex
It's in the
sells.
dictionary and everything. Yeah.
oh, it's in the dictionary?
I'm pretty sure it's in the dictionary.
So I was supposed to film. I was with Johnny Darko watching him.
Okay. Oh, I've known
direct-
Johnny for so long.
I like him. He's really nice.
Yeah.
Very you can tell he's been doing it forever. And he uses the word
Yeah.
gonzo too, which isn't as used anymore.
Really?
No.
A fluffer is a person employed to keep a porn performer's penis erect on the set. After setting up the desired angle, the director asks the actors, hold on. After setting up the desired angle, the director asks the actors to hold position and calls for the fluffer to fluff the actors for the shot. These duties are considered part of the makeup department. While fluffing does not necessarily involve touching the actors, it could entail sexual acts such as fellatio or non-penetrative sex.
That's why my contract people don't want to do it. So
Makeup
Johnny
department
Darko is
crazy.
showing me how he makes a porn, right? I'm doing it on this TV show. 8 guys come in for this blow bang. And I got so nervous for some reason because I realized all my camera guys and the producers are men and it's only me and her. So they're about to get their dick sucked and they're staring at me. They weren't rude or anything, but I'm getting nervous because I'm like, and then they were like, oh, were you in the scene? And I'm like, no, I'm just a journalist. So I run out, right? Not like crazy run, but I acted like I had to step out for a call. My producer's like, what's going on? He was gay and British. What's going on? I was like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can finish. I don't think I want to watch it. I just kind of feel funny. He was like, Weezy, I respect you, but you owe me 8 dicks, bitch. That's what he said to me. And we left. I really could not handle it. And I think it's because later I found out they must have thought I was like the fluffer. Because Johnny was basically telling them, move to the side, like move out of the frame, like if your dick gets soft. And I was right there in the corner. And I'm like, now I'm sitting here.
You certainly gave them eye candy.
I did. Also, speaking of eye candy.
Visual stimulation.
I met Jenna in person at a Questlove's Uno game night in LA. And when I saw her, I came up to him. He was playing. I whispered in his ear, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. And he's like, why?
No
And
way.
he goes, what do you say? From who? Let me guess. I was like, guess. Chrissy Teigen. No. And then he said, Tyler, the Creator. No. Babyface. No. And then he turns. He goes, oh, it's you, Jenna Haze. I was like, how did this happen? Oh my God, I sat down. I was like, are you playing? Because I'm going to play. I think I kicked whoever you were playing next
Oh.
out of the way. But for me,
That was such a fun night.
that was fun.
I want to go to another one of those.
Girl,
They're so fun.
I want to go to a dirty Uno night. But maybe
Clearly,
not
because
in
you done
Denver.
dropped Western Love in a goddamn threesome Uno. Now,
Oh,
he's like, how did I get here?
Wait, oh, he did? Dude, do you want to know some backstory?
He's like, how
on
the
that?
fuck did I get here?
Let me tell you what he was doing when that happened.
And now you're not making it any better, saying that Jenna Haze is at Uno night. Mind you,
I
know, she's in
was at
photos.
No,
Uno
I know,
night.
but what I'm saying is,
It
you
was
literally
fun.
dropped the Questlove Uno game night with, hey guys,
He does
you can
a
have
really good
threesomes
job
with
with
Uno.
making everybody, like he puts all these different people together, and I actually think that makes it work. Like the girl from Kokomo documentary,
I love her. Danielle?
Danielle, the other one, Dominique Silver. You have this trans porn star sitting next to Janelle Monáe, then sitting next to randomly just some other news pundit. And I'm like, damn, this is really a curated room.
I was sitting there having a whole conversation
With
with
the Star
J.J.
Wars guy.
Abrams, and I had no idea who it was.
Girl, he knew who you were because
Oh.
I said, is there room? He said, no.
Well, he was very, very nice, and we had this whole conversation.
was.
And then afterwards, I saw the pictures, and I was like, "Oh, that was J.J. Abrams." I feel like an idiot
Oh,
right now.
he knew that.
No,
You're like,
Yeah.
no.
I never think that people know who I am or anything. like
Really?
that. No.
Why?
I don't know. I think maybe because I've been retired for so long, and my life is more in the mental health care world now. I guess.
Oh, so it's not a part of your world.
You
As
do not
much
think
so.
none of them were sneaking away to jack off in a sock growing up and just know that you're who you are? I mean, I think that's the conversation right now, right?
I guess.
Like the Dreas and all the even video vixens now, them bagging these younger guys because the younger guys grew up like, oh my God, I love this woman. And now they're old enough with the money to bag them. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get her.
I
There's
think
like a
for
fantasy
me,
around it.
I do date younger men.
there's iconic.
I
Of course you do. See?
How much younger?
How much younger though?
10 years is my max.
I love it.
Oh,
Same.
Yeah.
But they're mature enough at that age.
But yeah.
You're 41.
I'm 42. I'll be 43.
Baby, they are not
in
mature at
February.
Okay, yeah,
They
that's a
may as
good
well
point.
be
I was
21.
thinking 30, mid 30. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No, they're
like
not.
33-ish, 34-ish.
Do you
is,
find
like a
that-
good age I like?
Younger men they're more fun? They just get it more? Like, what's dating like when you've had?
They are physically more appealing. That is like the sweet spot, I think, for
Yeah.
men right around there.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. They're just very hot around that age.
They are.
And they have stamina and they are like more, I don't know. I think that mentally that's where I'm at than like guys in my 40s too.
Do you
Like,
find
me
that
too,
guys
I'm
in your
childish
40s
too,
are
girl.
wanting to?
No, it's
I'm
not
childish too,
that.
girl.
No, it's not that.
Me
It's
too. I
that
don't
like
know old
I have a lot of younger friends too, and I live like a very fun life. You know?
Yeah, your
So-
energy doesn't give 42, 3.
No.
No. Okay, wait.
No.
So tell me, you were known for dirty talk. I actually remember your
Okay.
laugh so much,
I know it's so obnoxious.
which is so weird because
It's
I
like my
feel-
trademark laugh.
it
It
is.
like gives me away.
Wait, you were just laughing while taking dick?
It's just this.
I don't know if
You-
I like that.
You taught
I don't
me that like
know.
giggles are cute during sex.
Well, I would have fun. That's the thing, is that I would always have fun during my scenes, and it was never like a fake thing. I would just go in and have a great time. That's why I got in the industry, is because I was at an age, I was 19 years old, and I
Okay.
was already wanting to explore my sexuality. I'd been in a relationship like most of my high school years with one guy. So I was like, I wanted to go out and like have fun. And so it was a safe way for me to explore my sexuality and all my fantasies, and then like also get paid and get some fame, and also create like a work of art that can go out into the world and people can enjoy.
I also love that you just said it was a safe way for
Yeah.
you to explore your fantasies, your inhibitions around sex
Mhm.
while getting paid. But to me, the safety part of it.
Yeah.
And could you then talk to us about what the safety measures were then? Because
People
The
act like
internet
there
was-
wasn't enough.
you even said the internet was fairly new when you started.
Yeah,
So
I mean the
what were the
industry
safety
was
measures?
the industry was a lot smaller though too. We
okay.
would all get tested at a place called AIM, and it was run by Sharon Mitchell, who used to be a porn star, and then
Oh.
got some degrees and
That's
stuff
cool.
like that.
That is
and then
cool. I didn't know that.
and then she ran it, and that was a testing facility. And it was about, when I got in the industry, it was about, for the whole industry, like gay and straight, this is what I'm told at least, it was about 800 people that were getting tested. And now it's like 80,000 bazillion people, because, porn is now shot like all over, and everyone has like we have like,
800 is small. My
That is
graduating
small.
class.
it was small. It was very,
NBA
it
is
was a
only
small, it was a
450.
very small, close knit,
What?
it was
What?
a very small, close knit
Yeah.
industry. There,
Wow.
there wasn't a lot of people.
When did you
It really
start to
wasn't.
like cross over to, or if you ever did, today in porn, I feel like I'm seeing crossover to trans, lesbian, interracial, and just different kind of stuff. Like, but to me, when I think of Jenna Haze, I think contract star, big, like, I remember Stormy, I feel like I would see with
Stormy was with Wicked, yeah. I was
like-
with Jill Kelly Productions.
Jill Kelly. Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember those big people being in the same movies. Those are the AVN people in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
If I was going to watch the awards, that was who I would see.
Well, there were all the big companies. There was Digital Playground and Wicked and Vivid and VCA, which is really dating me right now. And then there was, of course, Hustler. And, there were just these big companies, and they each had these contract girls that would work exclusively with them.
When did you start to like, or have you ever gone independent? Like, who was
I
the
was
first black
always-
performer we
I
might
was
know even?
always independent.
Oh.
So I got in the industry. We're coming back to when you started that question, like
Yes.
way back when. So I got in the industry because I was at a nightclub in Orange County that used to be called the Boogie, and it was like an 18 and over club. They served alcohol, but you couldn't drink alcohol unless you got like the wristband,
Of
right?
course.
And so I was like 19 years old, and I went there with this girl that I was dating at the time, and I happened to like get invited to like this after hours party at some house, and a guy was there who knew Peter North.
Oh,
And so, I was like fooling around with a guy on the like on the washing machine in the garage at this house.
where was the
party.
girl you were dating?
What?
Right.
She was somewhere else. I don't know. I don't
You
know.
said, girl, I'm going to go have some fun in the laundry room. I'll be
Right.
right back.
Well, I'm bisexual. She was not. So,
Okay.
Oh, no, you were her greatest nightmare.
I was going to say,
What?
this
You
is
were her
why-
greatest nightmare in that lunch.
This is why lesbians
Lesbians
don't
hate
hate
us.
my bisexual ass now. Because they're like, you greedy bitches.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I was open and upfront about everything.
Oh, we believe you.
Anyways.
Okay.
And so, so then he was like, you're kind of like wild. You seem like you're very like open with sex. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you should meet Peter North. I work for him. And I was like, oh, you work for Peter North. And I already knew because I was a big porn fan.
Oh, so Peter North was Peter North back then.
Yeah.
Was he like,
he's very famous, still to
he was like a Playboy guy?
He was just,
like,
he has a very large cock. He has a very large cock.
Okay.
And he's very famous. I mean, he worked with like Jenna Jameson and like all the.
That's not the casting couch guy, is it?
All the old people. I think you might be thinking more of Randy West. Okay. Randy West did like Up and Comers, which was also Jenna Jameson. I did one of those too as well when I first started.
Okay.
He recently passed away, I think.
Oh, wow. When we were at the AVN Awards and they did
there
were so many people.
It's so crazy because like the Grammys does it, the BET Awards does it, where they take a moment where they, remember
what is it called?
Everyone that passed.
Not the obituary, when they do that.
I forgot what it's called.
In memoriam.
In memoriam. Yeah. I was shocked, I'm not going to lie, to see it at the AVN Awards. I was like, this is kind of...
Maybe.
Well, I'm not gonna
They
lie.
do it every year.
No, but I was thinking it too.
Yeah, but like, okay, like we've done BET Awards. Like when you watch the Grammys, when you watch any of the like the big award shows, they do that in honorarium. And normally, we'll see Quincy Jones at the next Grammy one. Like you'll see those. But I was like watching it in the porn space, and I was like, oh wow.
I kept wondering how sexy is the photo going to be of the person they show. I'm sorry, but it was in my head because.
That is problematic. That is problematic.
No, I swear to God. Do you want to think
no, I'm not gonna lie. Like, where?
No, okay, because I get that because I was on Reddit one day and somebody was posting some video about my friend who died earlier this year, and like they were like overly, I don't know, they were just like posting her porn for free all over and talking about her and like rating her compared to another girl, and I was like, dude, this girl just died. Like, can you like stop like pitting her in this competition?
Was it in January? Blonde. It must have happened right before AVN. Everyone was talking about her.
Well, there was so in January there was Jessie Jane passed away, who I used to work with all the time.
Yep.
Her and I starred in a lot of movies together, and we were really good friends throughout my 20s. And then also the same day, Masumi Max passed away. And then I think around the same day, it was like the same day or within like a day or something of each other. It was awful. And then the next month, Cagney Lynn Carter passed away as well, who was a girl I also worked with in my 20s. Like, we were around the same crowd and everything.
Is it like we're getting to this age where... Yeah. But it's also really...
We are jumping all over. We were talking safety measures.
So that's when you know it's going good.
You're talking of it all, okay?
I low-key, I feel bad when I listen back to episodes like this because I couldn't stay focused, but then it's always an episode where it did go well.
But I also love when the guest is like, bitch, let's bring it back to what I was talking about.
Safety. Okay.
So safety measures. So back then we would get tested. It was required every 28 days.
Okay. It's a lot shorter now.
Right. It's a lot shorter now. I think it's 14 days now. They test for more things now, which is great, but that's also because there's more STDs that are around, like MGen and things like that.
What the fuck is MGen?
Mycoplasma genitalium. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
I've never heard this is the STD.
They test for it in the industry now.
What is it?
So it's like a ureaplasma.
Yes. My friend had like a small percentage of it, and she was like, "Should I tell somebody?"
What is it?
It's a bacteria. It's like a bacteria that like infiltrates like your urinary area.
It could come up
I'm
as
not
BV.
Scientific right now. No, it is an STD. It's considered an STD. It's considered an STD.
It's not an STD in the way of like.
But it wasn't even around when I started like in the industry. That wasn't even like a thing. It's like it's a newer. It's a newer.
You got tested
STD.
in London.
Yeah, but you only get it through sex. It says so it says how do you get it? So it's Mycoplasma genitalium. Oh, girl, you had it, girl.
Thank you.
My degree.
You get it by
It was my job to be informed about these
You
things.
did good, girl. You said that because I would have fucked that up. It says you get it by having unprotected vaginal, anal, or oral sex with someone who has the infection.
Yes, and it's bacteria resistant, which means it's hard to get rid of. So it can cause problems in females. It can cause problems, I think, with like pelvic floor stuff. So a lot of women, if they have it and it goes undetected, it can cause damage.
But the thing,
and then you have to. And then you have to like retrain your pelvic floor and stuff.
So this is what the other thing. It says you can also get it by just touching your genitals with infected fingers or sharing sex toys. So it's absolutely an STD.
Can we do anything?
It's
I
just
know,
a
nothing
newer
is
one. It's a
fine.
newer STD. Yeah, I actually had to like kind of inform my doctors about it because when I read about it in the industry, I was like, because I'm always like up to date about this stuff, and then I went and told like my primary care physician. And she's like, "That's like for special populations. You're not part of those special."
What's
populations."
crazy-
And I was like,
it does
I'm not
say
gonna
the
say it,
symptoms are
but,
literally the same,
but
same
yeah,
and
it's like
similar
a
to
UTI.
chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Oh, and like a UTI, right?
And inflammation of their urethra and genital tract. Yeah. And what's crazy is I just went and got all of my tests too. And I looked at them and I was like, where is Trick at? I had to request Trick. And I'm like, Trick is another one that actually be running rampant out here. And
In
I'm
New
like,
York, yeah.
why do I have to request
New
for
York.
Trick? Oh, Trick is crazy. It's
Syphilis?
trichinosis. Trichinosis.
And then
You guys have a lot of sex, don't you?
we interview. I don't really have a lot of sex.
I'm hanging out with the wrong people.
Hold on, I'm celibate. But no, Trick is one of those where and can go with.
I'm not anymore.
I'm celibate, girl.
Oh, I have a question for you. We had Anna Fox here recently.
Still didn't
We
finish.
still did not finish.
I thought she mentioned this.
No,
Wait.
we're getting met.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
When we talked about safety measures, you brought up how 800. I thought that was the question.
No, she's still
answer.
getting how she maintains safety.
Yeah, because you mentioned 800 people at that
It was
time.
a lot smaller of a close-knit industry. There was a lot less. It was pretty much like the same, like 10 or 12 guys, like all the time, pretty much. And then like some girls. And then there,
That's where I thought we got the answer.
it was a lot
No, we
smaller.
got the-
Go ahead.
the
Go ahead.
28
Where are we
days of
going with this?
safety.
Where
Yeah.
are we
So
going
Anna
with
Fox,
this? Where are we
we
going?
interviewed her.
Okay.
She said
She's
she had
lovely.
done so much stuff for the first time on camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's like, first, didn't she say the first time doing a blowjob or something?
Really?
First-
I think so.
It was, no, first time anal, first time this. She was like, a lot of my firsts were on camera.
We're on camera.
Interesting.
Did you ever have any firsts on camera?
Yeah, DP. I did like a handful of DPs, like I think 5 or 6 DPs. That's what I consider like my most hardcore stuff.
You
And
didn't
I
even
did like 2 or
practice
3
before?
blow bangs.
You never practiced the DP before you.
No, I did that in my personal life. I guess. With a toy, like, but not 2 guys.
I did it with a toy.
With like a toy,
I love it with a toy.
I guess.
When you were
I had done
becoming more
anal in my
famous-
personal life too before I went into porn.
Okay,
so
so-
like, I had started watching porn at a pretty young age.
You
like,
went
I
into
had-
porn at 19.
Yeah.
You did all that before?
Well,
you was it.
Oh, no, in
You
between.
was advanced, girl. Yeah, she said, I got in at 19, I'm doing the math. And she said, I did a lot of things before getting on camera. Okay.
She said I was in that laundry room.
Well, I had a boyfriend I was with for like 3 years during like high school ages.
Okay.
Like before then, like 15 to like 18 or like 16 to 19 or something like
So
that.
you had a safe
You were
space.
trusting-
And he was a
young
few years
ass
older, and so he
still-
was able to go and rent porn.
Oh.
So he would go and rent porn.
And he wanted to try the stuff.
And he would bring. No, I wanted to try it, but he would bring. I was curious. I mean, look, I grew up with Madonna as like my idol. Like, come on,
Madonna. I love
come
it.
on.
No, I kind of like that what you're running with too. So I was gonna ask, being that you became more famous and more famous, was the prices or like the things that you would do first be a thing? Because when we interviewed Lisa Ann,
Yes, of course.
she talked about that. Like, what was the biggest thing that they wanted you to do that became something like that was a big deal? And what was something you said no to?
I mean, I've never done like I did a girl bang, but I never did a gang bang. I did a girl bang where it was me and like 19 girls.
Oh,
They
wow.
they took turns like having sex with me.
Whoa.
So I had
You
sex
were
with
the-
19 girls in one day.
19 girls?
Yeah, and it was that. I think that's yeah.
Like they had
But I wouldn't
strap-ons?
do
Was
more.
it all oral? Like,
It was mostly oral and like fingers and like toys. Yeah, from what I can remember.
So they
A long
were lined
time ago.
up
It was,
for
like
you.
20 years ago.
It wasn't
Um,
like an orgy.
No, yeah, it was the opposite. It was just me and like a bunch of ladies. It was awesome.
Was it like a
I've
birthday?
had sex with more girls in one day than I think anybody I know.
Damn.
19 girls is wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's kind of cool.
But I also did girls exclusively for like 3 years during my career. so-
Okay.
Was that because you were in a relationship?
It was. I was in a relationship with a cameraman back then. That was a long time ago.
That's what I saw on Pornucopia.
Yes, where I was. Yeah, that was
Now it's
Utopia going down in the valley. Yeah,
okay. I
HBO,
remember this
yeah.
because
I had quit doing men on camera because I started doing pretty much. I started like doing almost everything. My first scene was supposed to be a blowjob, and I ended up having sex with the guys instead.
but didn't they
Tell
kind
me
of
the rate
shame
when
you?
when you gave them the vagina.
Or maybe
mean,
I'm
my
wrong, but I
rates
remember
were
them
always
being like,
high.
"This ruins a girl's career." Did they say that?
No, and so like
There was hot girls wanted. It wasn't you.
So no, but there's the thought that like when you get in, you should start like just by doing like nude modeling, and then you should like pace yourself and then do solo, and then go to like girl and like milk it basically every step of the way.
Right.
I did not do that. I did not do that. I just came in and was like, sure, let's just have fun. Let's just do this. is. But I realized after the first few months, I was like, okay, this is a business. And so then I started taking it a little bit more seriously after the first few months. I got rid of the guy who had gotten me in the business because he was just basically calling companies and taking me around to get Polaroids and stuff to try to get box covers.
Okay.
There weren't really like a lot of agents or anything back then. And so I got rid of him and then I just repped myself from there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
then I got a contract for like a few years and then I got out of that and then I continued to just rep myself and I always have.
Did you make less money when you were doing Just Girl on Girl?
No, they let me make the same amount. I just did like one more scene a month or something.
Oh, you got lucky.
I did.
Because if I type in women, I feel like all I see is lesbian stuff. And I was like, was Jenna gay? Like I had to think about it.
What do you mean you just did one more scene a month? So were you
like
on
I was
salary?
Yes. So and I was required to do a certain amount of scenes a month for that salary. That's how contract girl worked. And I couldn't shoot for other people. And then they would have me go do appearances where I can make extra money, and then I would feature dance and make extra money. So
I did not know there was salary and porn.
Yeah, there was.
Did that stay going on for a while?
I mean, yeah, the contract girl was like a big thing. Like Jenna Jameson was a contract girl. Like all the girls, like Tara Patrick was Jessie Jane was a contract girl. That was like a big thing. We all aspired to kind of be the contract girl. But you can make more money freelancing than you could. But there was the thought that if you freelanced, you would get shot out because you were shooting for too many companies and nobody would want to shoot you.
But why did you want to be not you in particular, but like when I interviewed Vivid,
I wanted the promotion.
You talked about promo.
So it's the promotion. So back then, like we didn't have social media. Okay. There wasn't like these automatic you know, promotion machines at our fingertips. There wasn't anything like that. So we would have to either you'd have to go around to the companies and get the companies to really like you, and then you would get box covers. And then if they put you as the prominent girl on the box cover, then you'd be displayed, and then you'd get posters in like adult stores, and then you would get signings.
Posters, I forgot.
You get posters in adult stores, and then you get like signings and things like that, and then which would all bump up your feature dancing rate too. So the more box covers you got, the more money you'd get feature dancing, and then you'd go around and make shitloads.
How did that differ from you?
Feature dancing.
You said the first time you went, you hated it. You didn't make a lot of money.
Feature dancing's different.
How was feature dancing?
Feature dancing's awesome.
That's still strip club. But you're like so when I
it is, but you only go up a couple times a night.
Okay, yeah.
You get a set rate for going up there, and then you make tips on stage as well on top of what the club is paying you to go up there. And then you do after each show, you do signings. So then you meet with the guys and and the girls too, girl fans as well, or non-binary individuals, whoever's coming to see your show. You sell pictures and sell autographs and sell DVDs and all of that, and then make more money that way.
In like 2000,
but even that industry is
Wait, I want to ask about something.
I completed my last dance tour in 2018.
A little bit. Yeah,
no, it's on point.
When I was
I'm like, I don't know how much time we got, but I really feel like I met you before at one of your promo runs that you were doing. So when these girls would do all this stuff, right? Basically, you get to a city and you're like putting things on the calendar. Did you ever do something in a sex store in Orlando where you like taught a class?
I did. I don't think I taught a class, no, but I did signings at like, I think it's like the Romantics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I came to
boutiques.
One. And I remember.
In Orlando, yeah. Autograph signings.
The guy was basically saying like how these girls had to run through and do this weekly, and it was through like Vivid and Wicked and all those different companies.
Well, they do like sex ed like classes as well. I didn't ever do those. Jessica Drake does a lot of the sex ed stuff for like Wicked and their line of toys and lubes and things like that.
When you have to do this though, right? Like, because you're talking about how all of this stuff is promo. Like, what do you make more money from? The actual scene?
Well, at the beginning of my career, definitely, I would say like I don't know. The dancing made a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. The dancing made a lot of money. Signings, you make a lot of money. I still go around to conventions sometimes. I just did one in New Jersey. I did Exotica, where I get to meet my fans and sell my product and stuff like that.
And the dancing, feature dancing is still a thing.
It's still a thing, but it's not like it used to be. It used to make like $20,000 in then like 2 days. Like, and it was just like
would get paid.
Oh, Jenna Jameson in the 90s would make like $40,000 a weekend. Like, yeah, she would just make crazy money.
What would be like the standard? Because you would get booked like in our era, like the video vixens at one point were hosting clubs and doing things like that. So for the feature dancing though, what would be the normal rate for you to just show up and promote that you were there?
Depends. Depends on the girl. I've heard as low as, it depends on the girl. Every girl has a different rate. I did have a dance agent, so somebody who would book me in the clubs because I didn't want to have to deal with the night. I don't know all these gentlemen's clubs. I don't want to deal with the travel and all of that stuff. So they would deal with that, and then they would take like 20%.
Okay.
But it just varies. You know, I've heard as low as $200 and as high as like $2,500 a show.
And then
$3,000
you
a
keep
show.
everything that you make on stage and
Yeah.
those things.
Do you have any moments that you could think back to? Because to me, when I had heard these
This is the
stories,
most like tangential. Like,
I mean, we've got questions that
I'm
you're so
keeping
easy to talk to.
up.
You are. You might need your podcast.
like, I'm keeping up. Let's
Okay,
go.
so you're at the clubs. What I knew from the girls working there back then was most people approached them for sex work. How did you, if you wanted to engage or not,
Okay.
was that an expectation when people got, like, were people trying to push that on you when they saw you in person?
No. So I come from the era where like privates and like side, like full service sex work on the side of porn stuff wasn't really a thing.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody really did privates from my era and stuff like that. That was considered kind of a no-go
That was more
because then you were,
the era in 2009.
then you'd bring like stuff into the industry. And so that was kind of like a no. I know a lot of girls do it. Most of the girls do it now. From what I know, I don't know. But that was kind of a thing. Also, like I was kind of taught by like Jill Kelly and a bunch of other women that I looked up to back in the day that like if you make yourself accessible so that a fan can just hire you and fuck you, like where's the fantasy?
It's got to be the.
I would say like
it's got to be the rock star.
But from 2009 to 2014, like a large majority of my friends were
yeah, and no shade. I have girlfriends who make so much money doing it. I would be so rich if I did it.
Yeah, and it wasn't really the fan. Well, I guess there's still fans.
Well, wait, did the athletes and celebrities count though?
The athletes and celebrities count because them niggas not getting tested.
But
them niggas are fucking any and everyone. They're fucking prostitutes. They're fucking strippers. They're fucking regular girls. And a lot of them weren't using condoms.
So I'm thinking of the girls that like post on Twitter, I'm here this weekend, book me. To me, those
are escorts.
Yeah, if both people are private though. Like to me, a porn star choosing to fuck someone for 10 to 20.
I don't know.
No, really.
I don't know.
I've seen both. I've heard that certain women can be bought, but then I also see the promotion for fame.
Hey, I have friends who do, you know, privates exclusively, and that's what they do. I have friends who are dominatrix, all this stuff, and I've had some of them be like, "How could you do it on camera for the whole world to see?" You know, and I'm just like, sex work is amazing. Is that it's so diverse in its formats that you can pick and choose what works for you. You know what I mean? For me, I liked the performance. I like the camera being there. I like creating a piece of artwork that's going to go out into the world that people are going to watch and be turned on by and enjoy with their lover or enjoy when they're lonely or whatever. You know what I mean? If I'm not creating that, if there's not like a cameraman and there's people and it's like, you know, an actual creative process and more of a business, I'm not interested.
I feel like there's still a stigma on sex work overall, but there's so many now, right? With OnlyFans and Twitter and all that. How did your family take you choosing porn as a route? Because with the contract girls, you were viewed as like a celebrity, a star. I think it's a little different for how they're viewed today than back then. But how did your family take it when you came out and said, I'm a contract?
I haven't been asked that question in a long time.
A porn star. Because we don't even use porn star anymore.
Really?
No, the word? No.
I like adult film star. I like
adult film star.
I like adult film star.
Adult film star.
Because my first movies were on film too. Like we shot stuff on film.
Like, have more cachet.
Okay, adult film star. How did your family feel about it?
At first, like, you know, they weren't happy about it, of course. But then they saw that I was being successful at it and that I was, you know, actually treating it like a business. And like I've got a 401k and like I own a home and like, you know, like I have a corporation and a company and like, you know.
Directing also, I feel like when I see women.
And then when they borrow money from you, they can't hate. Can't hate.
You're right.
You know, that's the sucking dick money. I've done that to my mom. I've been like, yo, there were days where she's seen a clip of me and been like, oh my God, I can't believe you just told everybody this. I'd be, listen, I'm going to pay for this, but this is dick sucking money. I know. I'm like, okay, girl.
There you go.
So I have some questions for you about how the era changed with like OnlyFans. Do you think today there's more shame with sex workers because there's more accessibility to like write someone and say you're a whore? Like, what do you think? Because we're so liberal now, but at the same time, I feel like more women get hated on now, but maybe it's just because I can see it.
I think that there's a platform to deliver the hate more easily and more readily. I think that now people are able to voice, and with the political climate that we have right now, that's kind of given people feeling like they should voice these horrible thoughts and feelings. You know, I think that we live in a different climate now with that.
Right.
You know, like when I first started, like people would have to like mail
letters, right?
mail me a letter. To mail me a letter.
Did you have to open
So I would get
bullshit?
once in a while I would get some weird shit, girl.
Ooh, weirdness.
Tell us the weirdness.
A bar of soap with my face carved in it, and the colors of like my skin and hair were all dyed with melted down M&Ms. I still have
Girl,
it somewhere.
shut up.
I shit you not.
Is that not voodoo?
Right. I'm like, that sounds scary.
What about the
creepy,
OnlyFans
so
era
creepy.
as far as like requests for, you know, little private, or not private video, customs? What's been some of the weirdest requests you've seen on there?
I don't do, well, I've done one custom because I charge a lot.
What was it? And how much you charge?
I charge $1,000 a minute, 15-minute minimum.
I know that's right, Jenna.
Excuse me?
So I've only done one, but I just got my second order.
Wait a second. What are they asking for? And what are they getting for $1,000 a minute?
15,000
for 15 minutes. So $15,000. What are they getting for $15,000?
Just a striptease and dirty talk.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
I swear to God,
Just with their name?
I don't do sex anymore.
Just their
yeah,
name.
just their name and striptease dirty talk. Yeah, and then they can buy the lingerie after.
Because it's not included.
Because it's not. No, and I wear like agent provocateur lingerie.
Wait, what were you going to say? Your face.
Hello.
How much was the lingerie?
How much was
I sold it to the guy for like, and he's so great. He's also, he's a great fan. He's the best.
Wait a second.
Okay,
You
well,
sold
maybe
the lingerie additionally? You didn't just give it to him for the $15,000?
No, I sold him the lingerie with the dress that I wore over it as well for
How much was the lingerie?
$5,500.
So wait, he spent
Because I sell,
$20,500?
well, because I sell all of the, yes, because I
Girl.
sell all the, I kept every outfit I ever wore in a porn that I owned. I kept it all. So I'm slowly selling them on shopjennahaze.com.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
I might buy one. I mean, if it's not 5,000.
And so I sell
She
like,
said, no, girl,
I
this
sell
is-
all the shoes and all the lingerie and everything that I wore in my movies. So if you have a favorite scene of mine that's like your like all-time favorite, like Jenna Haze scene that you just like, you know, watched over and over again, you can probably buy that outfit.
Do you know who
Go to
Liz Goldwyn is?
shopjennahaze.com.
I feel like you might, because she's a Nelly
What?
girl. Liz Goldwyn.
I know the name.
She's the daughter of a huge director, but her brother's Tony Goldwyn. But she directed some films back in the day, not porn, but like about sex, written books. But she is a lingerie connoisseur, and I've known her for a few years. She was a fan of Horrible. She came on, and literally, I went to a vintage store that she was selling her lingerie at,
Yeah.
and some of them have been in the Met. And I was like, I didn't
Wow.
understand that this was really like
A thing. It's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I want some of your.
Like stockings. I've sold shoes. Yeah.
Are you
they
selling
wanted
to
to
women?
smell a certain way? Like,
I mean, I spray everything with my signature perfume that I've been wearing for
Girl.
20 years, so it smells like me.
girl. Every time we have these conversations, I'm like, what direction did I fuck
I
up
knew I was keeping all of those outfits for a reason because I would always be like, oh, I'm just going to put this in a Ziploc bag and stash it away.
So
and-
smart.
Yeah.
Do any of them have like semen on it?
What?
The blow bang.
I don't know. Probably somewhere in there.
That's
I mean,
the
I don't
price.
know. I've got like
I'm trying
tubs
to get you to
full of-
35, 500. Okay.
Oh my god.
Imagine if you sold something that had a little bit of someone's jizz.
I think they want her juices. I don't know if they want.
Yeah, yeah.
But people aren't. I'm just thinking back then.
You want? I know what you want.
What color is it? So when you're
I mean, I don't know, girl. It's been like 14 years. That shit to get low by now.
Oh yeah, it's flaky now. It's
that's
just
flakes
it's just flake.
No, and I used to wash everything pretty much after my scenes. So
and Ziplocked it. So you
Ziploc
knew
it,
something.
yeah. And like I labeled some of them. You know,
Did you know when you were
put them away.
getting popular, like that you would be this iconic? Like I've seen you on list of
No.
top 10 porn stars of all time. Like when did it hit you, or does it not hit
well,
you? till
okay,
after?
so I got into the industry because I wanted to be able to set myself up because I grew up very poor, and so I didn't have an opportunity really for college or anything like that much. And so I was working as a waitress 40 hours a week and then trying to also take 12 units at a local college. And I had no car and I was taking like a bus back and forth and it was just like awful. And then the guy came and was like, do you want to do porn? And I was like,
Finally.
save me from this.
Do you remember how much your first scene was?
And so what?
Do you remember how much your first scene was?
I don't remember how much it was.
Okay.
No. But now you got me thinking about money. Where was I?
Oh, wait, I don't remember. But I did.
Oh, so yeah, so I got into porn thinking that I was just going to like make sure I got an apartment, get an education. I wanted to go to college for psychology and become a therapist. So I was like, let me just get like an apartment and a car and everything like that and then get set up. But then my career took off. And so like I found myself within the first 2 years of my career, I was winning Starlet of the Year and I was, winning all these awards. And I was just like, well, let me just see where this goes.
It's
first.
so exciting
and so
to talk to someone who's
went.
successful because there's
I'm like, it went.
many who aren't.
And then around 2011, I did a scene and it was like nothing bad happened. I was directing, producing. It was an awesome scene. And then I thought about booking another one for myself. And I was like, I don't really know that I want to do another scene. And then I was like, I don't really need to do another scene. And then I was like, well, maybe I just direct a couple movies and then see how I feel and see if I want to go back. And I didn't really want to do another one.
As someone who's so confident,
and it was weird.
Had dating ever made you feel? Because Mandii and I talk about a lot how just talking about our sex lives for almost a decade
has impacted our dating life.
Had it ever made you want to stop? Like, because to me, you're so out loud and proud about it. But I believe everybody has that moment where they're like, shit, am I missing out on a certain life? Did that ever happen to you?
I mean, I just stopped when I found that I didn't want to do it anymore. It was just kind of like I wish I'd planned it out better. I wish I'd like shot like a whole like 2 years worth of content and then like slowly release. That would have been the smart thing to do, girl. But I did not do that. I just was one day, I don't really want to do it anymore. It's not really like for me. I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's kind of similar to...
I got bored. I won award. I'd won 45 awards. I was like, what else do I do? Like, I could see that the industry was not going the way that I wanted to. Piracy was taking over. Pornhub was ruining my company. Like, literally ruining my company. Like, destroying it. Because that was right when my company was, like, winning all these awards. And I was directing and producing and putting, like, $40,000 of my own money into each one of these movies just to see it ripped off. And then I'd have to send out cease and desist. And then they would take it down. And then another person would upload it. I talk about this in my TED Talk. And it was so frustrating for me. And then I was like, why am I doing this? And I just saw that the industry was getting bigger and it felt less safe. And it just felt like it was just not the industry that I fell in love with as much anymore. And so I was like, I just want to do something else. And then I was like, what do I do with the rest of my life?
Now what's your life like?
And then I took a class in psychology and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what I want to do. And then I realized that there was a really big need for mental health care in the industry itself.
Wow.
And I was like, well, what better person to be a mental health care professional for the industry than someone who's been in the industry?
We've met a few people. I know Cinnamon Love has the BIPOC Collective, and there's so many like porn stars who have left and like are now giving back. So what does that look for sessions wise? Like what do you hope those sessions do in terms, because I assume you're not telling them to get out of it or leave it, but you're helping them work through it. What does working through being a sex worker look like within those sessions?
I think there's a lot of sexual empowerment, and a lot of like not yucking on someone else's yum.
Yes.
And just acceptance. And I think I loved my job. Of course there's bad aspects here and there, but that's like with any industry, right? I hate when porn gets like, oh, well, so many people have like committed suicide and ended their lives. And I hate this. We're not supposed to say committed suicide, have ended their lives in the industry.
Unalived themselves.
Yes. And so many people have like, drug problems. And I'm like, dude, I know doctors who have drug problems.
Right.
I know people like who have regular jobs who have, ended their life, and I don't think that these things pick and choose like an industry, but for some reason, society really puts a lot of this on the industry and says, oh, you guys are mentally ill. You must be mentally ill. If you're doing this, you must be like, there's so much drug overdoses and this and this. I'm like, it's in every walk of life. It's not,
it's so crazy you say that. Because when I think about me, I live in New York and here, right? Just New York is my hard partying. I'm in somebody's apartment and
shit. You are not shy. This is on the world for the world to see, girl.
No, but like Jenna, I'm not lying. If I'm doing a bump with some random guy in the kitchen, it's a fucking doctor, lawyer, pilot. It's not a porn star. I'm not running into these girls that are like, you're right. It's all across of everybody. The more money you make, the more you get into a certain lifestyle, and you're the one who has to taper it or not. But
I also know people who are sober in the industry.
Me too.
I know people so it's like these things don't pick and choose, But I do think that, when I was looking for a therapist, I had a hard time finding someone that once they found out what I did for a living and what my former career was, they would say, oh, well, that's why you're feeling this way is because of this. And I was like, no, actually, it was a shitty relationship that I was
Yeah.
Actually, porn was like an overly like positive thing for me. It's actually this, shitty person in my life.
They've also recently added hypersexuality to depression. And I know a lot of people assume
Interesting.
that women get into porn because of past sexual traumas.
Yeah.
How often do you actually see that? Or is that like a myth?
Well, I haven't started working with this
Okay.
this clientele base yet. I have.
Okay.
I'm actually not fully licensed. I have been working in mental health care
Great.
through my internship, through my master's program, and then I also worked as a volunteer at the Suicide Prevention Center for a year,
Wow.
answering calls. And then I worked at a facility that specialized in borderline personality disorder, suicidal ideation, and self-harming behaviors for a year and a half. And I was co-leading like DBT groups there, CBT groups, things like that.
Look at
Mindfulness.
I'm thinking cock and ball torture.
No. Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay.
No. I thought the same thing.
No. So, but my goal with all of this is that yes, I do want to provide services to the industry. I hope to have a private practice where that's one of my primary clientele base. But also, I'd like to work with people in the entertainment industry as a whole. Like I know a lot of musicians. I know a lot of actors. I know a lot of I've been around entertainment, for over 20 years. So, and like entertainment industry and porn stars just go like,
in those
they
20
just
years,
go hand in hand.
like as you evolve.
Especially music and adult industry. Like it's very.
Yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, that's true, I guess. Cause
Music videos, all the things.
In this 20 years,
I love doing music videos.
Have you had moments where you have wanted to like, I don't know, I just can't imagine 14 years you haven't done porn.
I know, right? It's longer than I did it for. It's like I only did it for 10 years.
Like
and now I've been retired.
She did like one or two like movie or something.
Have you done music videos? You said you love music videos.
I do. I've
Have
done
you
like 5 music videos.
What was your favorite? And tell me about the day on set.
I've done 2 for my friend Taylor Momsen,
Okay.
who was on Gossip Girl. She was also Cindy Lou in The Grinch.
Yes.
Who was she on Gossip Girl?
She was Jenny Humphrey.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she's one of my really good friends. She's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So I did a layout with her for FHM magazine because we became friends because we met on Twitter.
Okay.
And then, and then I was in 2 of her music videos, and so that was really fun.
Dope.
And I also contributed vocals to one of her songs.
Madonna.
Come on.
And
You
then
got to love
like
Madonna.
sexy vocals, like of me like giggling and moaning and like having fun.
Okay.
And then I just recently did 2 music videos for my friend's band Sacred Skin, which is like a 80s style electronic dark wave sort of like fun music.
What's your role in the music video?
In one of them, I play like a ghostly like specter who like is like luring these people to do like nefarious things.
Okay.
And I'm like this mysterious like ghostly figure. And then in the other one, I'm like a roller skating like 70s queen.
Oh, dope.
That is cute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't dress up.
I want you to make a remake.
I might be
of a
shooting
music
another
video.
one in like a couple weeks for a different band. So
I want the Vagtastic Voyage music video. If no one remembers, this is my favorite. It's my favorite movie of all time, Superbad. But
really,
girl,
oh,
so jealous you got to suck on your mom's tits and all those things. That
Wait,
it's
what?
so many. You don't remember that? That was when
I
he
don't
brought up the
remember that.
Vagtastic Voyage. Oh, I could quote this movie. Like if you.
oh my god! So I was trying to. I was like, I want to see my part in Superbad the other day, and I went and I couldn't find it, and I was so mad.
Wait,
I was
why-
like, did they edit me out?
No way.
But everyone says it's still there, but I can't find it. I don't know. I have
Wait,
to sit
did
down
they?
and watch the whole thing.
There's an uncut, and then there's a.
Okay, so maybe.
Wait,
it
you're on
wasn't.
the uncut version?
Probably.
Why would they edit your part out? What was it?
I play one of the Vagtastic Voyage girls. So when the guys are like talking about like the crazy weekend they had or whatever, and it flashes back to them like sitting around watching porn on like a laptop or
Right.
something, I'm on the laptop doing a porn with Aurora Snow and this guy named Matthew Bass. And then if you buy the DVD, there's like a deleted scene that's like a minute and a half. That's the Vagtastic Voyage.
No
scene.
way.
Yeah.
I have that DVD in my
Yeah.
house. I
Yeah.
have to go and
But
look.
I'm like, where do you put a DVD now?
Girl, my mom just bought a player, and
I'm
it was
like, where do you-
$19.99.
Where did the DVD go?
I couldn't even believe they sold it to her for that much. Okay, 2 final questions.
We've
Weirdest-
gone all over the place.
and I'm like, 2 is still
Like,
going to take
all
about
over.
Maybe right after
the way,
two
the way
shit.
this is
Crazy.
going.
I'm like, did we? Okay, well, no, we're pretty on time. Okay, so tell me about a crazy time that someone stopped you or that you got recognized. Maybe you're in an airport and you're like angry about a flight, and they're like, "Oh my God, Jenna Haze, I'll do anything for you." Like, what are some memories of your star power working in your favor?
Working in my favor.
Because you already get pretty girl privilege.
I mean, I just get invited to cool things. And I think that, like, I have a lot of really cool friends. I think that that's the biggest privilege of my career is that I have a lot of really cool, like, randomly famous friends. That's just
I think
really
that
cool
with the podcast.
of how many, like, different and, like, they're just very random and different. Like they're like, I don't know, like plant influencers and like vegan influencers and then like heavy metal people and like, you know, like mainstream act, like it's just all kinds of random stuff. And I think that's what
I'm thinking when you see someone you're a fan of and you're like, you know me? Like that's so cool.
I mean, it's just I get invited to really cool things.
Especially being out here, I'm sure.
I get invited to cool things.
What about a weird time someone came up to you where you're like, oh my God, I'm freaking out?
I think the first time I ever got recognized, and I think I've said this before many years ago, was the weirdest thing. First time I ever got recognized. I was hungover and I was going to I wasn't living in Chatsworth at the time, and I was going to the grocery store to get like breakfast stuff, and I was like all, a mess. And I came out, I got my stuff, I had my bags, I came out, and the bag guy came running after me, and he was like, hey, miss, you're that anal girl.
Oh,
and I was like, what, sir? And he was like, you're that anal girl. I watched you on this little, and I was like,
the anal girl is crazy.
And I was like, yeah, that's me.
No coup.
No, I'm not gonna lie. This is what I talk about when I say there's a lot of undiagnosed people out there.
Yeah.
That you're definitely on the spectrum with no social cues.
This was like 20 years ago, too.
Still, very much undiagnosed than back then. This is what I'm saying.
Hold on. Is it though? Because back then,
you're missing social cues.
You never got to see people, I feel like.
Bruh.
No.
The anal girl, there's a different way to say
I was like, I have a name, sir.
You know it if you've been seen my anal. Okay.
I don't know. My first movies, I kept misspelling my name. So
how do you misspell?
Hayes or Hays? And I was like, no, it's Haze, like purple haze. I was named after marijuana.
They spelt it like the actual government way to say it.
Yeah.
How'd you pick your porn name?
So I was working at Marie Callender's, and I was talking to like one of the cooks back in the back on a break, and we were talking about it, and we were like, what would your porn name be if you did porn? And I was like, well, like I would pick Jenna because it's similar to my real name.
Okay.
And then I picked Haze because at the time I really liked Jimi Hendrix and Purple Haze.
Purple Haze.
I was also very into marijuana. It was my teen years, And yeah, and then there was also, I read, this is the shitty part of it. I read the book Lolita, which is very problematic.
I love Lolita.
And the character in Lolita's last name was Haze, Haze. And so that was the third way that I got it. So I came up with Jenna Haze before I ever even got into the adult industry. And then on my first day on set, they're like, oh, you have to fill out paperwork and you have to write down like a stage name. And I was like, oh.
I know it.
I guess Jenna Haze, and that's
Marie Callender could have worked. No, I love Lolita, by the way, and obviously it's a dirty book and there's pedophilia in it, but
it's very problematic.
In the section of the Strand, which is my favorite bookstore, they have a banned book section, and I actually only shop from there.
I love that.
Oh, I want the books that's fucked up. Like, is there? If it's something
you sound like me with movies. I always want when I go to watch a movie, I'm like, I want to be shocked and like surprised and like.
Have you watched Old Boy?
I find most movies to be like predictable. I haven't.
Okay. There's some incesty stuff in there.
Okay, no, I don't. That's the stuff I literally haven't watched Game of Thrones because of the incest.
Oh, girl, it's not that bad. You'll like it. Okay, so I have a question from a friend.
Okay,
Since you majored in psychology, Jenna, my friend did as well. Okay. How can I pivot my regular day job into sex work or porn or OnlyFans? And if I do, could I return back without repercussion?
Okay. So I think that depending on where you're at, the repercussion is almost, like you have to decide whether like it's going to be worth it or not for you. Yeah. I do think that we're living in a really complex age.
So
like it's really complex. Like
the
in some ways,
has swung so far.
In some ways, like yes, like a lot of these things are more talked about. They're more like accepted. Like the average person has not the average person, but a lot of people have OnlyFans. You know what I mean? It's more like commonly based, But at the same time, like there are like morality clauses in certain places and of employment that you work in and things like that. So those are things that you want to consider. I think that we should, as a country, I think we should go more the route. Like I've heard that in Australia, sex work is legal and they actually can't fire you from a job if you used to do sex work or whatever. Whereas like sometimes places can fire you if they have a morality clause and they find out that you've done sex work.
But what if you're doing it in the moment, I think that's different than doing it in the past.
I think it's stupid, and I think you should be able to do whatever job you want while
yeah,
doing
If
it.
I can sell pussy on the side, it's in America.
We've seen teachers, cops,
It's
all
so
of these
stupid.
people lose jobs. Over the
Nurses,
last
a
couple
lot of nurses.
Stupid.
Kids being kicked out of their school because what their moms
Their
do.
parents are doing OnlyFans.
With
yeah.
Australia,
The
I recently
discrimination
learned
and
that.
the stigma, and that's what I talked about in my TED Talk too, is that's actually worse than anything that I feel like not anything, but like the job itself isn't what's harmful to people in the industry psychologically. What's harmful is the societal stigma and the discrimination, like housing discrimination, financial discrimination, medical discrimination, all of that.
Public perception.
I never
respect,
thought
what
about
you're
All
saying.
of that
Yeah.
is what
someone's just gonna
fucks,
Google
fucks
you.
it up.
Or figure out what you do to get this money. Yeah, I never thought about that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, with the podcast, that's been my thing. It's not what we sit here and talk about. It's all of the things that people say after, and how maybe we're not respected the same, or people don't feel like we should be respected or have love or be in a relationship because we talk about it.
I got an Airbnb in London, I think, or Paris. Can't remember. The guy was like, yeah, I saw your email. I looked up your name, the Weezy WTF. I'm like, okay. And he's like, you're not going to shoot porn in here, right? I was like, nope. Did you find any porn on the internet of me? Okay. Okay, if I fuck like the other people who rent it out?
Wow.
Like, I didn't really think too much of what it must be like for actual housing.
I've had my bank account shut down twice.
Oh my God,
Wait,
they almost
why?
didn't want to give us one.
Even after I retired, one of them happened when I was still performing. One of them happened after I retired. Yeah, we don't.
Wait,
They
we
literally,
really shut it down.
here's all your money back. We don't want your business. Take your stuff to another financial establishment.
But I'm rich.
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
damn. Do you see
Yeah,
this
it sucks.
mortgage?
And that's some of the financial discrimination.
Well, yeah,
that I'm
no,
talking
and
about.
even for us, it wasn't that they didn't want to give us a bank account. They just asked us, if we were using it for porn, because also Alex, shout out to Alex Media, wanted to send us some sort of thing, and he put horrible decisions. Whore is big.
Oh yeah, we needed
And we were like, bro,
a letterhead of
Can
the
you
company.
not put horrible decisions while we're at the bank? It's just horrible.
It's not even in our LLC.
It's not even in our LLC. So we were like, can you resend it without the big whore on it, please? We're literally at the bank right now. He's like, sorry, forgot. Okay, thanks. Resend it back, please. Yeah, it was crazy.
But yeah, I think what you're
Not
doing is
very
definitely admirable.
incognito.
We dead ass. Like seriously. I mean, I think even when we started this pod, I was in corporate, and I used to tell them I didn't have an Instagram. I would leave early. I'm sure they just thought I was falling apart because I have another doctor's appointment. We were just going to the studio.
Yeah.
But I always thought of, oh my God, what would my job think at this? Because I thought I would be at my career.
Well, your job
longer
shouldn't
than here.
think shit. What
Yeah.
you do on your own personal time is what you do on your own personal
No
time,
shit.
as long as it does not affect your work or your capability in doing your job.
Which we see is not really the case, though. And you're right, the morality clause is once you do work for a company, we see it now. If you're going to be racist out at Target wearing a fucking FedEx thing and someone records you and now they call FedEx, you're representing the company while you're out.
You're
'cause
free to
wearing-
say what you want. You are not free from the consequences.
There we go.
I don't even think I think you can just be a guy in a car though. Like, I feel like when we're do you remember that thing that happened in California? There was like a black guy walking down the street and they're like, where are you from? Do you live here? Blah, blah, blah. And then there was a little girl outside the
I
window.
have no idea what
I
you're
don't know
talking
what
about.
you're talking about.
So there's a video that went viral recently of this man following a black man walking. And his child even got involved in it. Like, yeah, who are you? And he got fired from his job.
Huh.
And which rightfully so, like it was super racist. I'm just in my own neighborhood. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy because when you think about the things that you could be doing outside of work, to me, full-blown racism, obviously, right? We can't have you interacting with clients. However, me having a sex tape somewhere, do I really deserve not to be in this corporate office because you saw my tits?
I'll be honest too. I do think there's, and I hate to gender war it out, I feel like it would be different for men.
Of course it would.
We see it all the time.
100%.
It's women in sex work that would have the issue. So that would be my advice to your friend. I assume it's a
Male
woman.
porn stars
Male-
get write-ups in Rolling Stone magazine.
Oh yeah.
They,
yeah,
like
you're right.
female porn stars don't really, or they get out of the industry and say, "Oh, the industry fucked me up so bad, and I found God." and then they get more mainstream press because they're feeding into that narrative, right?
That is the big thing right now. A lot of OnlyFans girls are retiring and turning their life over to Jesus. It's like a whole thing.
Really, it's
the
happening
Jesus
again.
content
It's happening
creators
again.
are pissing me
This
off.
happens in waves in the industry.
Oh, it
You
does.
couldn't have
Okay.
had Jesus in your life when you were sucking dick.
You could have. for
You
sure.
could have.
Yeah,
For
well,
sure.
I don't think that Jesus would have had a problem with
No,
it.
he wants you on your knees.
Jenna, where can people find you?
Wow. On that note.
Wait, actually, how can people support you?
Okay, so I do have an OnlyFans. It's onlyfans.com/Jenna Haze. I also have a fleshlight. I'm one of the first ever fleshlight girls. I was
Love
number
it.
3 ever in history. Yeah.
Who was one too?
It was Tara Patrick and a girl named Sandy Westgate, I believe, and then it was me.
Ooh, no shade. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm one of the OG fleshlight
That's
girls.
a flashlight.
Yeah.
That is a flex. I'm not even gonna hold
Thank-
it.
That really is. The plug told me about how it was made. And
yeah,
how,
they like really mold your body and everything like that.
did you
Yeah.
have to
Wow.
masturbate before so it was engorged?
No, I didn't have to mess.
Maybe because it was, she said they want you kind of like turned on so
Oh.
they can, maybe it's evolved.
I mean, well, you want your vulva to do what's called tenting, is when it's actually like prepared for.
Okay, so that's probably
yeah,
why.
yeah.
It's so funny. By the way, sex tip at the end of this. Shout out, I just did the Willie Cologne podcast, and his friend gifted him a fleshlight, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, it kind of hurt. He didn't know that he had to put lube in it first. So he was literally raw dogging the
And some are tighter than others. And I
Yeah.
hope he took out the little cardboard thing that was
And I'm
inside.
like, it hurt. I said, did you put lube in it?
Yeah.
So fellas, if you are gifted or have never used a fleshlight, you do have to lube it up
Yeah.
before.
But they're awesome.
you know,
They're really
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. I have one for my vagina, and I have one for my pussy, and one for my ass.
Oh wow.
And then I used to have one for my mouth, but they discontinued that forever ago, and I think they should bring it back.
I do too.
It was called the Swallow. It was my favorite one.
I'll fucking
You wanna
write a
get
letter.
swallowed.
It was awesome. But so I have those, and that's how people can support me, or they can go to shopjennahaze.com, which is where I sell autographs, posters. Everything is limited edition. There's some t-shirts left, and then I have all of my one-of-a-kind items, like all the stuff that I wore in my scenes.
Ooh, I'm really going to look for
Wow.
one. If it's too high, I'm just going to get a t-shirt. Thank you for listening to
I'll
Purple
hook you up. I'll
Decisions.
hook you up.
Upgrade if you want to see the video. And of course, spend your money there first, then Jenna. Okay.
And they can always follow me 24/7 at instagram.com/Jenna Haze. I have a bunch of projects coming out. I have a film actually coming out that is commemorating my Last Dance film, or my Last Dance tour. So it's
wow.
basically, I did like a large format magazine with Paperwork NYC in 2019 that commemorated my Last Dance tour. Julia Fox shot pictures of it. A bunch of other photographers shot pictures of it. And I did a film version. And so I'm releasing that in the next month or so.
Dope.
Oh, that's
And I
cool.
also have a coffee table photography book that I did with a fashion photographer that's coming out.
Oh.
I want to know what
Wait,
that is, because I'm.
Can I
doing
tell
the
you when you
coffee
aged
table book.
yourself?
What?
This is the only thing you said that aged yourself.
What?
You can follow me at instagram.com/. You didn't say at Jenna Haze. I was like, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm teasing
I
you.
also haven't done an interview in a long time, so
You were
I'm a
so
little
much fun.
rusty. I'm a little rusty here.
And we were like,
Okay, so I'm also at Jenna Haze on X.
I'm going to call this episode at
And then I just got a Blue Sky, but there's like a link tree that has all of my links and everything to like my horror podcast that I do and all kinds of
horror.
stuff. Yeah, I do. Where I have 2 girlfriends where we review like scary movies and like thriller movies,
Love it.
and so it's on YouTube.
Jenna,
We just do it for fun. It's
I want to
really
take
fun.
you. The guy that's across from my studio here
Okay.
is a horror. Have you ever been in here?
No.
He's like satanic. And he films horror podcasts. He has like letters from murderers. It's really cool in there though.
Oh.
We should go. We gotta go. But also, there's a church that just got a studio in here, and they kept parking in his spot. And he was like, "I'll fucking go over there and talk about the devil." I was like, "You go do it." No, but he really, and it's really cool in there. But he loves
Okay.
horror movies, and he has
Yeah,
people shoot
I
in
like
there.
scary movies.
Because
It's just like a hobby. We don't make any money off of it. We just do it for fun.
girl, you made that 25. You better flip them horror podcasts.
We probably
Take
should
one
turn it
nipple
into
out.
like a money making like
I'm not gonna
thing.
lie. That's the one genre I'm good.
Really?
I
I love it.
Bitch.
Have you seen The Substance? That's
I
the
don't-
one we're
I-
doing this weekend. We're covering The Substance.
That's
this
not
weekend.
horror though.
It's body horror.
Damn, that was good. You watched it?
Of course I watched it. I
Body
watched it in the
horror.
movie theater in Australia
Saw?
last
It's
month.
like Saw. Is
What?
that body horror?
It's like morphing. It's definitely
No, it's also very feminist. There's a lot of like underlying messages about unrealistic body standards in Hawaii. I mean, in Hawaii, in Hollywood. God, I'm thinking about a vacation right now. I really am. I literally just booked a trip to Hawaii, so my brain is over there. But yeah, it talks about like unrealistic body standards in Hollywood, and
wow.
like
You would love it.
yeah, it's really good.
Not if it's scary.
No, it's not.
It's good.
Because I can't.
I mean, I went on a date to see it in Australia, and the guy was pretty good that I was with was like
Wait,
a little
really?
horrified. I think I traumatized him. Yeah, it's okay.
Saw Smile too. That was bad. But the thing about this movie that made me I actually wanted to do a cinema on it. In short, if you watch the preview, you'll see this. Demi Moore is given the chance to age backwards, and she has to live 1 week young and 1 week as herself. And basically going back
Yeah.
to being 45 or whatever. It's like traumatizing to her. She doesn't want to leave the house. Like,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's good. It's good.
So it sounds like sci-fi.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
I like
I like
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
I like sci-fi. I like thriller. I like horror.
sci-fi. I can do sci-fi.
Yeah.
Not horror, but I can
Yeah.
do sci-fi.
A horror, not horror. Wait.
well, I thought you
Horror, not horror.
Horror.
the horror.
Horror.
Okay, bye, y'all.